Welcome to the DorkLair live stream. What is going on, everybody? Chris, Larry, what's new,
happening, guys?
Yeah.
Well, I'm in the new place. So, we're sort of in, like I was telling Bill, all of our stuff's in, and it's going to be it's an arduous unpacking. I've got, as you can see, I've got part of the room, and I'll give the folks checking out online kind of a view. I've got all my Transformer stuff set up back there. I've got some of my Batman stuff up. I've got some Master stuff up. I've got some G.I. Joe up. I've still got to put up all my figure arts and go through some other things. And as far as recent pickups, there's a whole table of stuff that I have yet to open. And
Awesome.
the last couple waves of G.I. Joe Classified have come in. And I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 new ones to open, and some figure art stuff and Transformers. And you can't see it, but there's a Todd McFarlane Batmobile back here that's just itching to be opened. So it's pretty exciting. It's fun. I'm having fun unpacking everything. Although, caution anyone, if you ever pack to move, when you're packing loose figures, I packed all the loose figures individually in Ziploc bags. Something you don't think about is how they're sitting. And for some of them that were maybe holding a rifle, I just put them in the bag like that, right? Didn't think about the fact that there would be figures on top of them, and they would be sitting in a garage that would get up to 100 plus degrees. So I have rifles that should be straight that are like this. So I'm going to be spending about 30 minutes on Saturday, boiling accessories and trying to put them between two things to flatten them out. So if you ever move, take your accessories out of your figure hands and pack them nice and flat. Otherwise, you're going to have a centipede-looking set of M16s.
Do the work beforehand, not after.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's fun, finding new places for everything and setting things up similar to how they are, but I have more room now so I can spread out a little bit. But then also just going through all the stuff that I had in storage, I cleaned out my storage unit. So now I've got all this stuff that was in boxes, and I'm like, wow, all these things I keep saying, I'm going to eBay this. I'm going to put this on Facebook groups and we'll sell this stuff. Well, now I kind of have to keep that promise to myself, because I'm looking at this closet, behind the screen here, and I've got boxes of stuff in there that needs to be sold. And there's even more in the garage. So I think that's probably how I'll finance my collection for the next couple of years, is just selling off the old stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I have quite a bit of old stuff I need to go through, box up. I kept all the boxes and everything, but they're not all together right now. Yeah, for me, nothing new recently, other than I did get the Mezco Solomon Kane in, but I didn't get a chance to open it. I was actually gonna I kind of breezed through your review, Bill, but I was gonna watch the whole thing and just be should I even open this? Because it's I ordered that so long ago. I wasn't even just one of those. I don't even know if what I want to do now, but
it's a good figure.
Yeah, I know it does look cool. Just do I need it? I don't know.
Kevin Frame misses my squeaky chair. I think that's what he's saying there.
Hey, Kevin Boots. Yeah, hit that like button, everybody. Sorry, I have my dog down here right now, and he's freaking out. So I'm spinning around and stuff right now. I'm trying to get him to calm down.
No big deal.
Yeah, I think Solomon Kane is fantastic, and there's even some improvements to what they did with Conan. They went from those little hooks and things that the swords were hanging off of to more of a peg system that works really well. So yeah, that was also one of my pickups. So was there anything else that you got, Chris, lately?
No, not so much. Yeah, I was on a trip, went to Arizona for 5 days from last weekend, so been taking it easy for the most part.
I was trying to think if there was anything specific in the what a cutie.
Rob said pick him up. I had him in my lap right before the show, and he did not want to be there. So I was like, I don't know. But
they always want to be there until they're there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He wants to go out of this room. He wants to go upstairs. But my daughter's going to bed and taking a bath, and he just gets crazy around this time of night. Right, buddy? This is Dexter. I think you've been on here once before, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think one time.
But yeah. So for me, for pickups, I actually have a box that once I can get rid of this guy, I'm gonna open this up. This is a box that I got in the mail from Simone Barreto. He sent me some gifts, and I don't know. I know it's Glios. I don't know what it looks like or what it is. So I'm gonna crack that open in a little bit. And of course, the Mask of the Red Death, which is right here.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome figure. The clock.
I like that. The red mask held sway.
Like that.
Just the quote from the poem, and I love the Red Mask of the Red Death. Like I love the story, and I love Phantom of the Opera is my favorite Broadway play, and I love the way that it was used in that. It's just it's just a really cool piece of I guess pop culture legend, whatever we want to call it.
And one of the cool things is they packed a book in with it, so everybody who ordered the figure actually gets like a mini comic sized version of the short story, which is a quick read. You can read it in like 10 minutes. It's not a long read at all.
Nice.
And it is a great story. This is like the perfect thing for this time of year. It really just kicks off. For me, it kicks off like Halloween season and just all this stuff. Well, you know what else I got? It's on my table. I can't show it. I got the 78 points Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like building facade diorama set. And it's gorgeous.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's so nice. And I have it set up on my like review table because hopefully in the next couple of days I'm gonna do like just like a video, quick look at it, and just like share that with everybody.
Nice.
All right, let's see. Let's check the chat here. So we had Kevin Boots had his 4-month membership anniversary, I guess, right?
Nice.
We've got Mecha Rekka, Odin, Dave Orkin, and probably Steph as well. And we've got Rob Zamora. Eric is in the house. Cloud Foxwell was here early, as was Orkin. Let's see here. Who else we got? Fortress Maximus, Kevin Dufresne, Grizzle Horn. Solomon Kane is awesome. It's really good. All right, buddy, you want to get down? And then let's see who else. KJ Smith, Omega. I've never seen a Broadway show.
Yeah, I got to see it on Broadway. And what's funny was I fell in love with Phantom when I was in a senior in high school. One of my friends at the time who was into theater was always listening to it. Now it was the original cast recording, and just the voices just blew me away. And then when I was a freshman in college, we lived in the middle of nowhere. We didn't have cable or anything. I had 3 channels until I was 19. And so we had a satellite. So there was these music video channels, and there were music videos of like the songs from Phantom of the Opera. And it was the folks from the original cast. So I fell in love with that. And then when I was working for Johnson & Johnson, the headquarters was in Raritan, New Jersey, and we went into New York City one night, and they gave us, $150 to get dinner, go see a show, whatever we wanted to do. And a bunch of us went to see Phantom of the Opera, and that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It is so awesome live. And then when the movie came out a few years ago, I probably just about worn that DVD out. If you can wear out a DVD, I love that thing.
Awesome. I've never seen that like all the way through or anything, but yeah, I should. I know the title song I do like a lot from the play.
Yeah.
But
the movie, like it was one of those things that because I had read it so many times and heard the cast recording and actually seen it on Broadway, I really had doubts about how a movie would turn out. But man, they knocked it out. I mean, we're talking about it's 2005, I think that came out.
Yeah,
2005,
it's been a little bit now.
So it's been over 15 years, but yeah, and it still holds up. I watched it a couple years ago. It still holds up. It's really good.
Cool.
I wanted to bring this comment up because Kevin, if you're not familiar, does a lot of outdoor photos and a lot of photos in nature, like by rivers and stuff and like outside. So yeah, Kevin, I'm really interested to see how you're going to approach the Red Death as well. Come here, buddy. Come here. Cause yeah, if you're going to do it outside, it'll be maybe by a fire or something, or I don't know. Thank you. Sethium. I thank you very much. There was a ton of great feedback for the Red Death review. And it's always like tricky trying to keep the secret. I mean, it's not tricky. It's not too hard actually, but it's like the last day where they announce it. And then everybody starts messaging me and they're like, like, Bill's really quiet. Like, why is Bill so quiet? You know, like obviously he has it kind of thing. So, but the feedback has been great in terms of like, you know, that video and like got a ton of views. And I'm always super grateful to Four Horsemen for including me. It's such a like special weekend. It's just like a complete weekend, right? Like Friday, they tease it. And literally Monday, people have it like pretty much in hand, like maybe Tuesday, like they get their tracking Monday and then it's in hand Tuesday for people who are kind of like in the Northeast, you know? So it's a lot of fun. And actually I pulled up some pictures. All right, let's get into this, right? Like,
yeah.
So, you know, here's a couple of Trevor shots. His photos are just incredible. Just really capturing that mood in these shots. And this one's got the clock there. And there's still the mystery for some people. There's still the mystery of what's behind the mask. At this point, the figure's out. If anybody wants to see it, like just DM me and I'll shoot you a picture of it. But still, I'm not posting it publicly yet. And, you know, a lot of people are trying to avoid that for now, just to give people the surprise when they get it in hand. But it's I'll say it's like it's nightmare fuel under there. Like it's not it's like it's kind of a surprise. I was a little shocked by it. Yeah, Trevor, what's up, dude? Awesome photos. So good every time. And of course the art, you know, the artwork. I don't have any pictures of the artwork, but you know, like they're in the book. Let's see, let me pull one up here. Like this is one of the windows that that Nate Barch drew.
Oh, cool.
And then let's see. This one. This is like the fold out, like when you fold the wraparound out, it's got the stained glass windows with the partiers, the masqueraders, so to speak.
That's cool.
You know, like the mask is like, this is a masquerade. This is a party. It's like the party of the plague is basically a translation of the title. Right. But yeah, so Nate did an incredible job. And this is what it's like under the robes. It's so cool. It's a brand new figure. It's like top to bottom. Everything is brand new. Of course, there's things we've seen, but we don't have in hand yet. Like the upper arms, upper legs are from the Poxus wave. We don't have them in hand yet. The loincloth is from the All-Star 6+ or 6. And we don't have it in hand yet. But all this is like for in-hand stuff. It's all brand new top to bottom, except for the hip, you know, the base core hip piece. And he does have a boom boom hole, by the way. So if you want to stick a tail on him, you could. Yeah. So I got a couple extras because I definitely want some of these bodies to just do like a couple like ghouls side by side, you know, like just like a pair of ghouls. And it's going back up tomorrow. So Friday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time, you can order this thing again. It's probably going to be quick sellout because they're putting up canceled orders, you know, people who maybe like broke the ordering rules or accidentally ordered too many and canceled. And then some of their like con stock, they're going to put up, and they still have more, I think a few more mugs and, you know, swag and stuff like that. Like the pin here. Got my pin. I got my order in today I ordered 2. That's cool. I ordered 4, 2 and 2. One of the orders had the all in. And there's the pin. It's pretty sick. The mug is
Yeah,
nice
that's cool.
too. I don't have it down here because I haven't washed it yet, but
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I didn't buy the first time just because I was on vacation, so I'd missed the first one, and then this. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to jump in, but maybe tomorrow, if I'm feeling inclined, I'll see if it's still available.
some people, hey Chris, some people are making this thing part of their Red Fury
Yeah, I
squads
know
now.
that's kind of what's making me lean towards it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just underneath that thing. And then the cloth goods can be used for different purposes. There's like a lot of good stuff. And I haven't even mentioned the blood. Do I have it over here? I can't wait to see photographers just start to have a field day with the spilled blood on the floor. Like, and this thing is flat as can be. So for photos, it's not going to be warped or anything. This thing is super flat. And I think some people are going to have a field day with this in photos, especially this time of year. Like there's going to be some good Halloween toy photography using this blood coming up. And I already kind of showed the clock a little bit, but yeah, very cool.
They did such a good job with this, picking what to put with the set. I mean, because again, like I love Poe, and I was lucky enough in college to have a literature professor that was really into Poe, and one of his favorites was Mask of the Red Death. And like you said, it's a really short story. It's not long at all. You know, it's Prince and the wealthy people want to escape the plague. They close themselves up. They think they're protected, and boom, guess what? You're not. But we talked about how the main themes, like the three big, like the symbolism of the story, and the main symbols are, you know, the mask himself, the clock, and then the blood. And it just shows such an attention of detail that I mean, the clock you'd expect, the mask, the character you would expect, but the blood stain, I mean, that's just they went above and beyond. They always do such a good job with the little details. That's what makes all of their releases so good.
And they were able, and this you can see it in the back of this one, they were able to include the stained glass windows, which is another very striking image of the whole thing, where they're making their way through these, you know, colored rooms.
Yep.
So yeah, they just did such a good job on this. If you're interested in like a deep dive into the creation, like the behind the scenes of this, yesterday's Mythic Customs, Mythic Conversations live stream, which, you know, they could watch the replay, they had Eric Treadaway on, who, you know, he's pretty much came up with this thing. They weren't even planning on this. This was one that wasn't on their list. And he just like inspiration struck him like about a year ago, a little more than a year ago, I guess. And he wasn't even planning on doing a Halloween drop this year. And then this just like struck him, because he said if he's not inspired, he's not going to do one. Like, he's not going to force it. And so this just struck him, and he was like, yes, let's do it. So they had one. So this is Dave Chandler. And then we've got Anthony over here with his Halloween setup. He's getting all ready for Halloween here. And then Lexi, this one's like, man, this is like just two colors right here.
Like that.
That's good. And then we've got Vincent. Another one very, very similar to, you know, a wider shot, but very, very red over here. People have some crazy dios. Like,
yeah. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. And then Mr. Allen, so if you want another look besides mine, he actually did a review as well. So he did his review, was it yesterday? And he's in Italy. Like, the international shipments went out super fast. Like, this thing got to Italy like yesterday.
Wow.
I guess the people in the UK got theirs too. Bob, this one's excellent use of the backdrop here. The fold out. And then Jose, this might be the last one. A good look at the clock here. This one shows the articulation really well. Like, there are some major improvements here. There's a neck hinge on it.
Oh, cool.
And the elbows come like crazy Like that's pretty much double jointed elbow range right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
that's impressive.
Really
So
is.
they did a great job of doing some articulation improvements on that thing. Rob Zamora, so they're doing another drop tomorrow. Yeah, they announced it yesterday. They're doing like some leftovers, and it's going up at 9 a.m. Eastern time, Friday, tomorrow, the 29th. So yeah, it's not another drop, like it's not another supply of it. It's just like the leftovers, like the cancellations. And then in order to make it I guess last even a little while, they pulled some from their con supply. So those people who are waiting to get it at like Legion's Con, I'm sure it'll be there, but like probably less than there would have been.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Check in on the chat here. Emily Peterson. Thanks for liking my comment on the Instagram about bookseller Honda san. I'm sorry, but I'm drawing a blank on that one. Liking your comment on Instagram, bookseller Honda san. I'll have to look back at that. Sorry. Ball drop for people that missed out. Rob Zamora. Oh, so Rob Zamora missed out. So yeah, get there at 8:50
And keep refreshing.
Yeah, get logged in. Make sure you're ready to go, and just get it right. Just know what you want. Do you want an all-in, or do you want a single figure, or whatever? And just like jump right to that. Boom, get in your cart and go, because it could sell out quick. It might last. Like maybe they're putting up a bunch. I don't know, but like I think it could go quick. Oh, for the giveaway. Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. That was like 400. That was almost 400 entries. The Forge collection, Reynolds Cruise, gave away an awesome figure. It was mostly a kit bash, but he had a custom head and a custom cape on there. He gave that away on the DorkLair Instagram channel to promote his own channel or his own, account. And yeah, we had a great turnout for that giveaway. It was the question was it was like just to enter in the comments, post your favorite skull-faced fictional character. Obviously a lot of Skeletors, a lot of Ghost Riders, but there's some really good ones, some really interesting ones that people had for their favorites too, like beyond the obvious. Single figure, boom, go for it. I think you'll get it. If you're right on time, I think you'll get it. I mean, like this thing it lingered for a while. It wasn't like by the end of the sale, it wasn't like flying on, it wasn't like flying. So a lot of people had a chance. So it's not like there's a ton of people out there who are like, dying to get it. So it could be okay. Can you tell me more about Von Burke Studios monthly exclusives and how to get in on them? Yeah. So actually that's one we should promote. I think I shared it last time, but so Von Burke does a thing called the Von Box. And by the way, Brian Von Burke and Emil Wickman are two of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And they do the Von Box. What they do is they sculpt some original pieces every month. And it's like a subscription thing. And the only way to get these heads, you get like 2 per month. The only way to get these custom sculpted heads is to subscribe to the Von Box. The website is, let me see, VonBurkeStudios.com. VonBurkeStudios.com. All one word, Von Burke Studios. And there's 2 options. There's the 2 heads unpainted. I think that might be $40 a month. And then there's the 2 heads painted, which I believe is $80. And they're awesome. I wish I had one in like within like reach, but I don't. They're really cool. I subscribed to the painted version for, I don't know, maybe like 4 months, 6 months or so. And it was so cool. I was just kind of like cutting back on things a little bit. Like 80 a month can add up So I stopped for a bit. But yeah, so that's how you subscribe. That's what it is. And then you can just unsubscribe whenever you want. That's all. You don't have to do it for like a year or anything. You can just do 1 month and then unsubscribe if you wanted. And the October box, or is it the October box? Yeah, the October box is going to be DorkLair box. So they do seasons. Like one season was like the season of creatures or like the season of skulls or whatever they are. And this one's the season of influence. So last month they asked Toy Bro to just give them a concept and then they're going to sculpt heads. And so those are out. Like you can go to Toy Bro's Instagram and check it out. And then they asked me to do the next month. I don't know who else they asked. I'm assuming like maybe D Amazing. I'm sure there's some others. Oh no, I think it's 3. I think their seasons are 3 or 4 months. I'm not sure. So it might be the 3 of us, perhaps. I'm not totally sure. Or it might be more, it might be longer. But yeah, so that I gave them my description. I still haven't seen it. I'm not going to see it until they send it to me and I have it in hand. And then I'll but like I kind of gave them my my description of what it is, and I cannot wait to see it. And I can't tell you guys what I described, but when it releases, we shall see. So I'm super pumped about that.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Sounds fun.
Okay, buddy. Cool. All right. Oh yeah, we have Everett Miller's here as well. That's the inside. So what's behind him in this shot is, inside the box. When you pull out the backdrop of inside the box, that's what's in there.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. All right. Why don't I'm going to bring my dog upstairs. I'll leave you on this screen for 1 second because I'm going to bring my dog up. I think my daughter's in bed and everything's all good up there. Yeah, I'll be right back. Larry, talk about this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I can go on and on about this
Yeah,
guy because we can start out with how the G.I. Joe, the team that's doing this for Hasbro are doing such a great job. When the first
one's going to get me back in.
I think this was going to get a lot of people. But when the first couple of waves dropped, the biggest complaint from Joe core characters like myself, guys that grew up with the property, that collected it through the 80s, that collect all the 3 3/4 from the 25th anniversary line and really wanted a 6-inch line. When this thing launched, we were so excited right up until we saw them in the store. And they had gold armor and this thing and that thing, and that's not what we wanted. We wanted them to take our glorious 1982 to 94-ish line and put it in 6-inch scale, update it for the present day like they did that 25th anniversary line, which was an incredible update to the 3.75 inch. Not the exact same scale, but it was pretty darn close. And this is exactly another piece of evidence that they are listening to the fans. I can see the original Duke from here with his golden knee pads and his gold shin guards and all this futuristic crap. That's not what we wanted. We didn't want Fortnite. We wanted G.I. Joe, and this is G.I. Joe. This Duke looks great. What they're doing is they're doing with this what Transformers Masterpiece has done, and what I feel like the recent Transformers Studio Series line has done. They've taken the best of all worlds and put it into the figure. They've taken all the things that we loved from those original toys, like with Duke. You had the backpack with the shovel on it, and the binoculars, and the rifle like Stalker carries, and then they've got the rifle from the cartoon. So they're bringing the best of all worlds together, and they're continuing to do this. You look at the Falcon, you look at Dusty, you look at Outback, both the regular and the Tiger Force. Same thing with Bazooka. The Walmart exclusive line that they're doing on the vintage line, on the vintage card backs, they're going back and doing previous figures the way they should have been done the first time. And now we're getting this. And as Bill scrolls through this, you're going to see a couple of others where they're going back and they are rectifying some of the mistakes made in those first couple of waves.
Yeah.
Is this going to be? Is this a
it's-
Walmart exclusive too? Like with the retro
No,
packaging?
right?
and all
No,
that?
no. Moving forward, as of right now, this particular figure, they've not announced what else is going to be on vintage packaging in the future. What they have said is the vintage packaging will continue. However, it will be on thicker cardstock and it will not be vendor specific. It's going to be easier to get. The last ones that shipped from Walmart, there was a Snake Eyes Zartan Wave, and I'm looking at the sacks, I'm looking at them. And then most recently, Crimson Guard and the original Snake Eyes. So as of now, those were the last ones that shipped from Walmart on the vintage card. Walmart did have an exclusive Big Ben and Range Viper that shipped in the regular boxes. Those just arrived this week. So those type of exclusives will continue. Target's going to continue to have Tiger Force and Python Patrol. There'll be things here and there, but these vintage card backs that they're doing, from what we've been told, those are going to be easier to get from different areas. As I understand it right now, this particular one is going to be in regular box. They're supposed to go back to something more resembling the original packaging, kind of an amalgamation of the plastic-free packaging and the original window box that we had. The packaging now, without the window box, it used to be just the art. Now they've got a big picture of the figure with, hang on, I'll show you.
This is, yeah, this is these two right here. Like, I know I said recently I saw
So when they
like,
started the plastic-free packaging, they had, it was primarily the art. I can't see what I'm seeing, with a little bitty picture of the actual product down here in the window. What they've done now is, for the more recent releases, they flipped that. So this is, you see it's pretty glossy. You can see my screen on there, but you still have your art, but the larger pictures of the figure itself. And then of course they've got a nice picture on the back. What we understand that they're going to be doing moving forward is they're going to have some plastic back in it. So there will be a bit of a window, but still some art, still some toy pictures there on the box. They've not decided exactly how they're going to do that. There'll be a transitional period. But we will be able to see some product. Here's the other one that I was talking about that's rectifying the past. I mean, Scarlett, previously, again, she looked like she jumped right out of Fortnite and had body armor everywhere. This is Scarlett. This is the perfect amalgamation of that 82 release with enough of the pieces and accessories. If you want a cartoon style display. Now, seeing it with the stand makes me think that may be on vintage packaging, because so far the only ones that have come with stands have been in vintage or retro packaging. So
he has it too.
He has it too. And they had mentioned, gosh, I'm trying to remember. There's so much information. They had mentioned maybe it was with these two, they were going to be on the vintage packaging, but they're going to be available not as a Walmart exclusive. Maybe that was it. Yeah. But I wish what they would do is either start putting these stands with every figure, or put these stands up on the website and let us order a 20 or 30 pack and they could print money, because I would buy one for every one of my figures because they're fantastic. And you can't find the only stands that really fit these figures. Ringside Collectibles does a Mattel WWE stand that fits these figures pretty well, but they're out of stock right now. And that's really the only one that I found or heard of that fits them properly. Hiya Toys, old Snap asked, they didn't take over the 1/18th scale, but they do have 1/18th scale. I think there are still some O-ring stuff that's coming out. I can't remember. It seems like they said there was something going to trickle out. I don't know if they've taken it over or if it's just an agreement, kind of like Hasbro has, where Marvel Legends produces stuff in the States and Figuarts will do those same characters in Asian countries and we can import them. I don't know if that's what the Hiya Toys situation is or not.
Yeah, it's possible.
The
deal with a lot of Hiya Toys things.
The Vala stands are nice. Those are really nice stands.
Let's not be fooled by digital render. You know what? I've got 7 or 8 figures in here that prior to having them in hand, all I saw was digital renders, and they're pretty doggone bang on accurate. So until they burn me, I'm going to trust the digital render.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
I've seen. Sorry, we're stepping on each other.
No, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was gonna say lately I've seen a lot of people get in hand, like either Marvel Legends or GI Joe, and I think their face printing is like even better than it's definitely improved.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the last few that I've opened, and I still have, like I said, the last 8 or 10 to open, but the more recent ones I've opened, I'm trying to think what are the most recent ones. The only one that sucked has been Falcon, and I think everyone can agree that Falcon's face sculpt came out looking like, he stood in for Tote when he opened the Ark of the Covenant and got his face a little
melting.
But other than that, all the recent Snow Job, if you want a Zach Galifianakis figure, order Snow Job. He looks just like he did in the Funny or Die video. But that's an awesome figure too. He's got a great face sculpt. Tiger Force Dusty is pretty much the same as your regular release Dusty, and then like I said, I got a bunch of stuff in the boxes. Yeah, exactly, Rob. I do remember Falcon. I don't think anybody's ever going to forget Falcon.
But that's that isn't a lot. Like you guys said,
that's an anomaly.
Yeah. That's not the standard or typical situation there.
Now I don't know. He mentioned Shipwreck. My Shipwreck, I have popped that one open. It looks pretty good to me. I don't know. Maybe you got a bad copy.
And that's one of the things about the
digital printing
windowless. Well, also the windowless packaging. Like I saw Shipwreck in store. It was like the Shipwreck wave. Who else? I forget who else was in that wave, but that was the one time in the last, I don't know, 6 months or something where I was like tempted to pick them up because they looked so cool. But again, it was just the box, and it would have been nice to see the face. It might have swung me on that purchase actually if I had seen it in box or whatever, or if I had seen the figure.
I would have to look back at that digital render to see exactly what the difference was, but I'm looking at the figure right now, and it's not. I mean, it's faithful enough to the original line and what I've seen that I can't. Cover Girl was questionable. Depends on the angle you look at her. I just think she went overboard with the makeup.
So this was. Do I have this? Hold on. So this is the last one of these that I had on this, and then we'll pull up the I have the Fwoosh site with all the rest that we can pull up. But this is the last one I put on the slideshow just because I was so this is like an anniversary figure, right? I forget the name. What is it? Just the Action Joe, or
they just call it because there was one for the land, and then there was one that's a seal that's like a diver. What this is this is Hasbro poking Bobby Val is what this is. There you go. That's exactly what that is.
It's funny because I have this lined up too. Like these three, like these two, just all of a sudden being shown, and then just thinking about how this awesome figure right here, like they're just three.
Oh yeah, the Valaverse stuff is awesome. I love his stuff.
Yeah. But anyway, so with this, let's go. So let's go here and flip through these. So we got Big Boa. And Larry, I don't know all the names here because I can't remember.
This is Big Boa. He was the Cobra trainer. There was a storyline. There were conflicting storylines. You know how they brought in Sergeant Slaughter in the Fridge to be on the Joe team. At one point, they were going to bring in Rocky to be on the Joe team, and Big Boa was supposed to be his adversary. Then there was something that said Big Boa was a play on Balboa, and he was either going to be Rocky under the mask, and it was going to be a swerve, or he was going to be one of his relatives or something. Anyway, Stallone never signed with Hasbro, but they did continue and go ahead and do Big Boa. And this is a really cool figure. And I like that we're seeing a beefier sculpt. So I'm sure they'll use this on some of the Dreadnoks moving forward, especially Road Pig. So yeah, I really dig that. That could be a Nemesis Enforcer upper body too. So there are lots of uses for that new upper body there.
This was probably one of the last Joes that I had as a kid. And I remember loving it because of the removable boxing gloves.
Yeah.
But this must have been one of the last ones I had.
This was one that I was really anxious for. He was So I got my first GI Joes Christmas of '84. So they came out in '82. '83 they redid the first series with Swivel Arm Battle Grip. '84 series 2 came out. Airborne was part of that series. And he was one of the first Joes that I got. He was in that first set. I always loved him. In fact, one of the Valaverse figures that I bought was the one that had his color scheme, and I bought it because I loved it so much. And I was really disappointed that he wasn't one of the unlocks for the Dragonfly, because on the old Dragonfly box art, he's sitting in co-pilot. So I figured we would be getting him pretty soon. So I'm super excited to see this guy. He was always one of my favorites. He never played a big role in the cartoon or the comic book, but this was just one that I always liked as a kid. So I'm happy to have him in the collection.
And it just dawned on me, and I noticed it earlier too, but I just wasn't, I always have Mezco, like Mezco does this all the time. And I feel like this might be the first time I've seen Hasbro do this, but like removable magazines and suppressors and stuff on their weapons.
Yeah, they've been doing that. Actually, if you go back, and I'll have to look exactly to see how far back it goes, but the first time they did a Snake Eyes Commando, he came with a suppressor because he's got a specific place on his holster for the suppressor.
Right.
And there are several of them that do have removable magazines. So it's nice to see this. I feel like Bobby Valla does that on a lot of his stuff too, unless I'm just making that up in my head.
Oh, yeah.
So it's nice to see them, keeping up and not being outdone, because I really think that gives a lot of versatility to display, and it adds a lot of value to the purchase.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and even the helmet with the drop down goggles, like that's something on the Valaverse figures too.
Yeah. Like where you can flip that around. I've got that on one of the soldiers down there. The other cool thing that they'll do on these Hasbro pieces is, if it's something like Hawk or Dusty that has the goggles on top of their helmet, they'll come with a second set of goggles that's smaller, so you can take the ones off the helmet and put them on the face. Yeah. So they're actually usable. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah. Just so heavily accessorized. Speaking of.
Yeah, this is insane.
This is a crazy one. Now, this guy was after I had pretty much stopped buying Joe's. I think this came out more in the 93, 94 era. I know he was a bigger character when Deke took over the animation, the post GI Joe movie seasons. There were 2 seasons there, and he was more of he had a lot of airtime, but he was kind of a buffoon. It's a shame too, because I always thought it was kind of a cool looking design.
What's this guy's name?
Metalhead. Is it Metalhead? Oh shoot, I can't remember. I want to say something like
chat.
Yeah,
something
Metalhead.
like that. Yeah. Metalhead. Yeah. But he had, if folks watched that secondary one, then they saw a lot of him. But this one, I'm confused as to why they bothered showing us the next one, the Mutton Junkyard. I'm confused as to why they showed us the digital render, because they actually had physical sculpts of that at SDCC that looked really good. They looked finished, but I don't know.
It's easier for them to make this image.
Probably
look sellable.
Yeah. And they're doing a really cool thing here. Because they've had 4 or 5 different Snake Eyes already, and we've had 2 or 3 different Timbers. They're doing a great job with the animals. The Timber has 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, like 15 or 18 points of articulation. Comes with a couple of heads. They've done the same thing with Junkyard here. And then Mutt comes with all the different accessories, from the face mask to the baton. I mean, all the stuff he would need as an MP. And I love that they're coming with more and more hands. Now, I hate it from a part storage perspective, but it is, again, it's giving you more and more options for display, for play value, for even if we're not playing with them, for display value. But I'm especially excited for any of the ones with animals. I always loved those as a kid. So, we've got Timber, we've got this guy now. We have Freedom, the eagle, which has way more articulation and parts than a bird should ever have. I mean, it's ridiculous. So it makes me look forward to things like Spearhead Max, or any of the other ones, what's it called, Raptor with his Falcon. So they always did a good job in the old Joe line and the vintage Joe line, having those animals as secondary characters. And it looks like they're carrying that on here. And I'll point out one other thing. I love that they've pulled back on the unrealistic weapons, and they've got stuff that looks more realistic. They've still got a modern flair to them. Clearly, that's an M16. The pistol's still pretty modernized version of a pistol, but I do like that. I would prefer that they went the Bobby Valla way and did like all real weapons. But I just buy a weapon pack and from his stuff, and I can, do whatever I want to with these here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gnawhide. Somebody mentioned Gnawhide in the chat. Quick Kick is another great one. It'll be interesting to see how he comes out. It's a character that I had as a kid, and he comes with a lot more stuff than that Quick Kick did. I like the multiple head sculpts. Great little Bruce Lee homage. And if you watch if you're into the cartoon and you know about the chocolate bar, and but yeah, it's a good looking, and the throwing star effect there, that's pretty cool. They're really trying to do little things with these newer releases to set them apart, and I appreciate them going the extra mile.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much none of these guys are bare bones at all. Like, I mean,
no, they're not.
Yeah.
They really aren't. Techno Viper, he was visually one of my favorites. Never had him as a kid. Always wanted him. I always thought he was pretty cool looking. Just another army builder from later in the line. And again, there was not a lot to do here, just update his look, but they did a good job with it. I love the colors. I always love the colors on this guy. And yeah, it's just another really great release.
Someone was talking about the Hiss tank and how they had the color votes.
Yeah.
I think it was Jonathan the Hedgehog. He was talking about how they had the color votes. And one of the like selections was purple, and he was really there was a group of people who were like campaigning for the team purple or whatever, and like they're all pumped now that this is they're doing a purple trooper.
Yeah, and I knew this one would come, and I loved the way the purple navigator looked, but the whole reason that I didn't vote for him is because I knew we'd get Techno Viper down the line somewhere.
Yeah. And
we're back to Scarlet. Recondo. We already have Recondo and Tiger Force. I think they're doing something smart from a marketing standpoint. Recondo, they released first in Tiger Force. Now we get this. They released Bazooka first in Tiger Force. Then we got his regular. So when they're releasing the repaint first, I think people are more likely to buy both. If they'd released the originals first, like you can go into Target, just about any Target right now, and see a bunch of Dusties on the shelf because they already released the original, and people aren't picking up the Tiger Force because a lot of folks already have a Dusty. Yeah, and I think it's not terribly slimy move because they're going to do the regular version eventually. Oh yeah, if you're just patient, you get it eventually. So it's not like you have to buy that Tiger Force version if it comes first. And those Duke again. We saw, and then and then
this is the other.
And I love what they're doing here. They're doing a black dude and a Caucasian dude. They did the same thing with some of the Cobra Troopers and the Python Patrol. I love that because you can really build out your ranks and make them all look so individualized. I think that's an awesome move by Hasbro.
Yeah, for sure. With army builders like that, it's nice.
Yes, it is.
For sure.
Absolutely.
To have multiple looks.
Yeah.
This dude's loaded too. I mean, these two are like freaking.
Well, I mean, and I think they're designed for you to buy. I think they're designed, buy 3 or 4 of them, and you can dress all, outfit them all completely differently. So they really are true army builders.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're not going to be, $25. They'll probably be like
these are going to be these are going to be like Snow Job, like a 35, 40 price point, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't see any of this like news in a sense of like, I'm just wondering, are they really like delusion collectors, with too much stuff? Like, there's a lot of stuff revealed here.
I'll tell you from my
army building stuff, not just like, oh, we have $40 figures. It's like a lot of figures.
I won't be army building with anything. I mean, I'll buy one of each, but the fact that they have really intensified this line, there are things like, as far as I love McFarlane stuff, but as far as that goes, I pretty much have all the different Batmans I want. I'm looking around. I love the Masterverse stuff, but I'm reaching a point where, especially, with us moving to this stage of our lives where I really have to pick and choose. And, I love G.I. Joe. So for the time being, that's probably going to be the one where I stay all in, and it won't keep me from buying their stuff, but I think it's going to keep me from buying some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Blake is an army building freak. We gotta get you back on, dude. Okay, so that's it. That was the last photo of that. I know there were a few, like there was is it Buzzsaw? Like there was like a Dreadnought. They had a few
they had several
were like on a table.
Yep, they had several go up for pre-order. They had Buzzer went up for pre-order. Hang on, I'll tell you. They had, and they all looked awesome because we actually got to see the actual figures. So, of course, Firefly will be here any day. Buzzer, Shockwave, Ripper, General Hawk, and Agent Helix. Yeah, those are the ones. Agent Helix is one from the comic, but Ripper and Buzzer, we all know. Hawk, we all know. Shockwave, really cool looking figure. So, Torch will come at some point. I wish they had done Hawk. I wish they had done him from the original 13 first, because he was he was in the green shirt type uniform from the first line, came with a mobile missile launcher. I was hoping they would do him in that version before we got the General. And since we get the General now, I don't know if we'll ever get that old one. And I was really hoping they get to all the original 13, but we'll see.
Speaking of just, sorry.
No, you go ahead, Chris.
No, it's just, did you see that? What's the big the Operation Monster Force, the General?
Oh yeah,
I was going to
pull that up.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Hang on a second. So I'm going to pull that.
Every time Robo pulls up pieces of news on that line, I'm just like, oh my Lord, stop showing me this stuff.
This guy?
There he is.
Yeah.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah, he comes with well, yeah, definitely looks like Carl
See
Weathers.
The other heads? You got Carl Weathers, you got
up.
Thunderbolt Ross, you got the original Joe Colton there on the far right. I don't know who that's supposed to be in the middle. Maybe Steven Seagal about 100 pounds ago.
Yeah, I've seen some speculation, but I can't remember if anyone in the chat know who the third head is, besides, looks like the Punisher too, but obviously not a General. But I like how they give an alternate pocket too, so you can have a couple of these guys.
That's interesting.
I'll definitely hit Dylan, you son of a. I'll definitely be picking one up so I can have a General Joe Colton on my G.I. Joe shelf for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty cool with that one. I was trying to think though, is there any basis for the Carl Weathers head? Is he a general in any
I don't know.
Media?
Unless it's an alternate future where he lived through Predator and went on to be a career military man. I don't know.
Yeah, because I legitimately checked the listing. I'm like, they must have gotten his licensing, right? I mean, because it's unless I'm the only one who thought it. But
I mean, that one right there, that looks like a freaking Cobra zombie. Look at that thing.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I feel like did we have this up last time? I can't remember.
I feel like we may have talked about that. I don't know if we did or not.
But yeah, they're doing a lot of these zombie guys. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, Blake wanted me to pull some of this stuff up. I feel like, going back, we kind of got all that stuff, and then that's an accessory pack over here.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I love that skull mask. That's really cool.
So that matches with the most recent one, right? That pack matches with this guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's cool.
There.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay, so then let's go back. All right, so let's go back to Legendary. So this was, I forget the name of this, Obsidious or something. This was one of the ones that was like a shadow, a silhouette that they hadn't revealed. They're at over 85. They might even be close to 90% now, but they hit 85 and they revealed this one. So they're getting there, and there's still, let me check actually here. Beta Travelers, Kickstarter. They still have over 2 weeks to go, and they're at. Oh wait, no, they're funded. When did that happen?
Huh.
No. Hmm.
Hold on, let me pull it over here. Yeah, so they 129,000 out of 125. That they were funded like I feel like this morning it was like 85, or maybe yesterday, or maybe I just saw an old tweet or something, like I just caught it late. But yeah, so it looks like they're fully funded. Congratulations to Meta Travelers. We're getting some figures here.
Yeah,
And
pretty
so
awesome.
let's just kind of go through. We saw these. We saw this was one. We saw that one. We saw that one. I'm talking about when we had them on, and then like maybe the week after. Did we see this guy? That might have been that was a stretch goal. So they had that one. So these are stretch goals. These haven't hit yet. Right. So does it say what 165 is the next one, right? Or what's this? Doesn't say what the goal is on that one. Oh, okay. 145 is quick jack. Okay. And then the ones that were revealed were I feel like this one was revealed. I feel like that one we didn't see. That might have been a silhouette when we were doing it. And then, of course, we have this that we just showed. Obsidious.
It's a crazy cape.
It's cloth.
What, really?
It looks plastic in this, but he said it's cloth. So we'll see how that works out. That it's all wired and stuff, like a ton of wires.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a render though, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not, yeah.
Digital render shown, yeah, but still that'll be quite impressive. They can pull that off.
I mean, CJ's working on this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, if anybody can pull it off, it's CJ. Speaking of which, I'm going to go get two things real quick.
Is everyone doing in the chat?
I just want to share these two awesome pieces. I'll pull this. I'm going to go like this. So this is the Townsfolk Hunter accessory or cloth goods set from CJ. This is one set that he'll have limited amount of this at Legion's Con. So you got the shirt, the pants, the ropes, and the belt over here. It's freaking killer.
Yeah. Those the pants look great,
and they're so simple and easy. Like this whole put together, there was no like stitching or anything. There's like a little Velcro in the back and stuff. And then this is the cloak set is called the Ranger cloak, Ranger 2.0 cloak. I put it on this as like a guard, like an Elven elite guard or something. But it comes with the cape here in the hood. And then it comes with a scarf that I just kind of use as a belt in this situation because it wouldn't really go around the neck. I did a quick little video on that the other day. On those two sets, they're so nice. So if you're going to Legion's Con, definitely a table to hit up. And if you want those things, go early because he's not going to have a lot. He did like a pre-order where you could like have him ship it or you could pick it up at Legion's Con. So I think the target ship date for that is like a little bit before Legion's Con, but I think he's going to make a few extra to sell at his table.
Nice.
That's really, really good looking work.
Thank you, Loco Lou. Hit that like button, everybody. Thank you. By the way, no giveaway this week. I apologize. I'm like thoroughly exhausted from work today. I don't know what happened. I just got so run down today, and I don't want to end and then have to like ship something, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So, all right. Okay, so we're gonna pull this slideshow back up. Oh yeah, this just like showed up today in my Instagram feed. So Trapjaw and Man at Arms new Eternia figures. Somebody has them in hand. Like they didn't even like put these up for pre-order on any of the sites or anything like that. I think they showed them like physical prototypes at shows, but those two figures, I don't. And he was very coy. If you kind of look on the right there, like in the comments, he didn't really respond to many. So I don't know where this person is or how they got them, but these exist somewhere in the world.
I'm curious to see them out of their packs and see. I mean, I can see some small differences between the new Eternia there and the ones because they released Trapjaw from a Revelation and they had him in his motherboard priest outfit, and then you could switch it to his more traditional. Looks like there's a more traditional head there, and it looks like Man at Arms colors are a little different, but I would love to get a closer look at the sculpt and see how different they are. Yeah. I'm definitely not buying those figures again because I think what came out in the first line's a pretty close representation, but I'd be curious to see how close those are.
Or how different they are to that first, the Revelation ones.
Yeah.
It's like looks like the belt is a different sculpt. Interesting. I'll have to check those out.
You could probably check I guess they're saying, Jordan's saying they were at SDCC is where they showed them. You could probably check that to see maybe like a little better shots. Maybe Pixel Dan or somebody might have some good shots of those.
Somebody mentioned the Deadpool Bob set. My Deadpool Bob set arrived yesterday. So if you don't have those yet, you should have it anytime from SDCC. The only thing that we haven't gotten yet from SDCC, I think, is the G.I. Joe Chuckles. Everything else has been shipped. I got the Crescentin and I got the whatever that other one was a while ago. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
Mezco put up the mask. They kind of teased this fairly recently, I think. I feel like this is a rare kind of quick turnaround on a reveal to pre-order figure. Probably not a lot of difficulty with a license like this, a lot of like back and forth. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. If I were a Mask fan, I'd be pumped.
This is like, I mean,
all over the top.
Yeah, like I know the movie well, but I don't know if the comic is still like going or relevant. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm sure it has its fans. Like I don't think they need to have something be still going to
well, I know that. I just
that's a head. Like, that's not like an effect right there.
Right, that's pretty cool.
Those are cool looking. I like that.
Yeah, I do kind of feel like, and I don't know, like you're saying, like I don't know the comic, so maybe this is, maybe this is ample for the comic. But just thinking of myself in the movie and stuff like that, I do feel like the mask should come with more than 3 heads. I don't know.
When I scrolled through and I saw there was just one, I got 3, but only one kind of normalish head. I thought he could have either some more other expressions for the normal head, or more wacky heads, like the dog. I mean, going off the movie, I can only assume he did similar things in the comic where he just changed his head to something else. But I do like that modular gun on the bottom, just with the different plugins.
Great. All the crazy stuff going on down there.
I love the weapons. Those are just nuts.
The effects are our usual. Like those are the standard effects that they put out with all the different figures. But yeah, some of these guns are crazy. And then into the 6 scale, we got Chopper, who's enjoying Ahsoka. I'm loving Ahsoka. I think the show's been great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until they're all up so I can watch them concurrently.
Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
No, I'm trying hard to open my heart, but I don't know how you have we have to fight the Empire or the rising Empire or the rising remnants of the Empire, and all this stuff is at stake, and there are dark Jedis, and I know where Luke is, but I'm not going to go get him. That to me makes almost as much sense as pooping after you wipe. So I'm just going to let it all get so I can just watch it all at once. I loved Andor. So
I'm rewatching Andor right now.
Yeah.
And my God, that show is so
I
good. Like
absolutely
that's
loved. For me,
Yeah.
other than Rogue One, that's the best thing Star Wars that Disney has done because everything else has been trash. I mean, Mandalorian season 1 and 2 were good. 3, eh. Boba Fett was a dumpster fire. Kenobi was a dumpster fire that somebody tried to put out with dog manure. So, I hope Ahsoka's good. I've heard good things, but I want to let it all drop so I can just watch it all the way through and not have to sit and chew on something, and wait. So
I
I'm
think
hoping.
like for me, Rogue One was like the least rewatchable of the movies as a whole. Like I could always rewatch parts. Like it was always like a good rewatch in terms of like I want to watch the Vader scene or I want to watch the the big battle.
Yeah.
But like just watching it as a story and of the characters, I never was able to like really get into it. But now that Andor's there, and I'm also rereading Catalyst,
Yeah.
I'm starting to kind of like better appreciate Rogue One a little bit more. It's starting to make it a better movie for me because Andor is so good, and it's really interesting to me how they've developed that character. And I think it's actually such a shame that he like that. Honestly, like it's kind of weird thinking back to like how they just killed him all at the end of Rogue One. I guess they had to because of
Yeah, they had to.
like
Their
just
story was over.
the story is over. But like if Andor had survived into the New Republic, it would be really interesting because he was a separatist essentially, and he was anti-Republic. And so to see it rise back up and become kind of dysfunctional again. I mean, we saw,
Yeah.
we see that in like in Mando season 3, right? Like it's kind of, and we also kind of see it in Bloodline and the sequel trilogy, right? Like it kind of becomes like this dysfunctional thing again. Like it would have been really interesting to see like how Andor, I guess they couldn't have a Cassian in that because he would have like found a way to fix it, or I don't know. But yeah,
That or blow something up.
I'm really interested in Cassian as a character, and just like that whole show, just rewatching it and just really paying attention to all the little details is a fun watch. There's so much detail in that show. It's awesome. It's a
And
really
for
good show.
me,
Yeah, I
the
need to
show,
rewatch it.
like, yeah, I mean, I already, like I said, I already loved Rogue One. For me, it was very rewatchable. Not just pieces. I loved pieces, but I loved it as a whole. But then going back and seeing Andor and seeing his character development, it makes me appreciate what went on in Rogue One that much more. Now, we're getting a season 2 of Andor, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one more, and that's
That's
it,
what I
as far as
thought.
I
That's what I
understand.
thought. So yeah, it really colors like everything that he does. And unlike, say, Kenobi, which completely performs a character assassination on everything that happens that these characters do in The New Hope, it does the exact opposite. It really it colored, it justified, it made more real everything that Cassian did and said in Rogue One. So really looking forward. If I can enjoy Ahsoka half as much as I enjoyed Andor, then it'll be worth the watch. That's how much I enjoyed Andor.
Yeah. I think you'll enjoy Ahsoka. Like you did not
Like I said, it's just it's really hard for me to accept that from a logical standpoint, being in that universe, you wouldn't go get Luke. That makes less than no sense. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll watch it and I'll see what happens.
Especially like, I mean, we saw her hanging out with Luke very
Right.
recently.
It's not like she doesn't know he's there. She's had a sleepover. She stayed at the dude's place. Okay. She knows where he is. So I don't know. That's a hard one.
Hedgehog.
Again,
We were talking
go ahead.
we were talking about Hedgehog a little bit earlier. What's up, dude? We were talking about your purple quest, your purple GI Joe, purple team, purple hashtag
right, yeah.
purple team or whatever it was. But welcome, dude. What's going on? Thanks for the $2. Just got home. What's up? Nice. I like my bots dirtier. Yeah, so let's talk about Chopper here. I didn't pull up a lot of the pictures. Again, I was kind of exhausted, but 240, and here's what you get. Hot Toys 6 scale Chopper. Feels like a lot to me for a droid. But I guess that's kind of the price. Like, what was the last R2? It was in that range, right?
Yeah, that one was like the deluxe A New Hope one. And it came with, everything he ever shot out of his
That's
body,
right. Yeah, it
basically.
was loaded.
Yeah, I thought this was, it's not bare bones, but it does look slim as far as even just the random accessories for him to hold. But yeah, I guess I really thought that because there is one shot where you see like Hera's lower leg, so I kind of was thinking maybe it would be a 2-pack or something. But no, it's one guy for 240. This is how they went.
It's 199. Like, I feel like that would
Yeah,
have been a decent price.
I think they definitely would move more
Yeah.
just at that rate. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong on that, and they're selling just as many or more of these, but it's
Looks good though. I mean,
Yeah.
Chopper. I did order Sabine, but that's because it's like my Mandalorian theme. I'm not. I won't get Chopper. But it looks like a good figure. It's just expensive.
I'm on the fence about whether or not to get any from the show, even though I like it. I'm just not sure if I want to keep going forward. And it's like, if I get one or two members of the Rebels crew, should I be expecting to buy more of them? And I really I got all of them in Black Series, and I'm like, all right, good. They're never going to make these any larger.
Right.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Until they made them on live action. I mean, they're going to do a Thrawn. They're going to do a Thrawn.
Yeah. I'd be much more tempted for that, just because I love the Imperials and that outfit.
I think I know it's Mickelson. I forget Lars Mickelson.
Yeah,
it's one of the Mickelson brothers, right? Like the other Mickelson was
Galen Erso.
Galen Erso, yeah.
Yeah.
But like I think he's doing a great job. I don't think he looks the way I think there's a lot of the characters in here that I just have in my head. I have looks that just don't match up. Ahsoka
when they revealed what he looked like, I felt the same way. I thought that Thrawn looked like they took Data and made him lose some weight and painted him blue.
Yeah. My wife saw him the first time on screen and she goes, "Is that Elon Musk?"
or yeah.
I can see
see that too.
But the acting, I mean, of course he played the voice in Rebels. But the acting has been I think he's been phenomenal. I think he's been amazing. Dad bod Thrawn.
Yeah, that was my first thought too.
Old.
I was like,
he's an old man now.
I'm like, all right, he's eating well.
My thing is like, I'm fine with him being whatever shape of body. He just, to me, he has a sharper nose, features in the face, just like sharper, pointier.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know. Yeah, there you go. That's what my wife said.
That's funny.
Thrawn is too fat and wet. Yeah, visually, it's just not quite there, but like I think the acting is great. I think all the actors are doing an awesome job of just embodying the characters, and it's just like it's shifting my brain a little bit. And it's saying, okay, like these are like this is that character now. Like it's just this is the live action version of that character. You need some Visine. Hey, Eric Miller, what's going on?
Hey.
I think we're winding it down here. Let's see. Yeah, I got the post-show question here as the next slide. So we're going to finish this up right now. Circling all the way back to the beginning. Remember the post-show question. I want you all to wait till the end and then go into the actual comments of the replay video, essentially, and put your answer there. Don't put it in the chat. Put it in the comments of the replay video afterwards. So the question is, what will the next Figura Obscura be? Answer after the show in the comments. Thanks everybody for coming on, joining us, and until next time.